This week, we talk about our disappearing Gameboy, Saturday morning cereal, and a better Ferris Bueller than Ferris Bueller. All that and more on this special season break episode of Dance of Joy, a Perfect Strangers Rewatch Podcast. Hello, cousin listener. Welcome to Dance of Joy, a Perfect Strangers Rewatch Podcast. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Imran. Joining me, as always, my lovely sister, Sophia. How are you, Sophia?
I'm good, but you know what? Our joints better be aching today because today we turn 100.
Oh, my God. We're 100.
We're so old.
100. This is the 100th
This is our 100th episode.
Get out of the city!
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's amazing. That's quite a journey.
Dance of Joy is a centenarian.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, there's 150 episodes, I think, total of Dance of Joy. We're throwing in a couple of these season break specials. So, what a journey so far.
I can't believe we made it. We're 2/3 there.
And I've enjoyed, I think life is better when you have a constant check-in with Larry and Balky.
Yes.
So, rewatching this on a weekly basis, kind of like when it first aired, has been a lot of fun. And, it's just you're hanging out with these guys, week after week. We've taken a few breaks here and there. But I miss them when we take our holiday breaks.
Yeah.
I'm
we're very uncomfortable the whole time we take those breaks. We're like, we gotta do another episode. We gotta watch another. We gotta keep watching. Watching.
I love watching it again like it's new, and I miss them, and it's such a fun show.
That's why we're here.
We're here.
So welcome to our season break special number 4. This is our 4th season break.
Why isn't it 5,
special.
even though this is season 5? Well, we didn't do one, remember, between the first season and the second season, because there was only 6 episodes in the first season.
Oh. Right. So we're one behind.
Yeah, so
Sorry, that
break,
took me a minute.
Yeah, is that registered?
I was diagramming in my mind.
Season break special 1 was after season 2.
All right, so we're one behind,
Yes.
but this is our 4th season break special, and we're just going to reflect a little. We're going to reflect on season 5
Yes.
of Perfect Strangers.
Let's look back and maybe we'll mention some of our favorite episodes, favorite moments. The show had a lot of fun stuff. Still on
A lot
brand.
of great physical scenes.
This season did have a 2-parter, as previous seasons have had, which is also, it's usually earlier in the season.
Right. But previous 2-parters, I feel like, have had to do with Larry on the gang on a trip somewhere.
Yeah,
like
this
the
2-parter
ski
took
trip.
place in the basement of the building.
Right, when Larry's father had come and they
Busted
flooded
some
the place.
pipes, playing baseball in the basement.
And they were dangerously close to getting electrocuted.
And then they were going to die. Yes, but that's a common theme in the 2-parters is
they're all going to die.
Yes, every time. Cousin, I don't want to die.
Wait, how did they get out of the basement?
It was the water was coming. He plugged it with something, and then that thing spit out.
Yeah, and they were going to get electrocuted.
And they were about to get electrocuted. Did someone open the door?
Oh, Marianne told them how to blow the door open with the chemistry kit.
That's right. And
we used to summer in Beirut.
They used to summer in Beirut, and they built a bomb.
Yeah.
They built a bomb and put it on the door. Because, again, but great.
Right. Remember, we had all those questions. How did they get, because they lost the stairway, right? So how did they get
that was
out
a great
the door?
stunt where the whole staircase collapses down, and they're all in the water, real slow and weird. It was obviously controlled, and it looked like it. But then, and then they have enough materials to build a bomb because she summered in Beirut. One of my favorite Marianne moments
in Beirut.
in this season. Yeah, so that Father Knows Best double-parter was good. This was also interesting this season. We had a character return from the beginning, introduced in the beginning of the season and come back
later in the same season.
I am talking about, of course, Marvin Berman. Who tried to blow them up.
Tried to blow them up because he wanted credit for his mob boss's brilliant
not saying
mob
I'm innocent
crimes.
and I didn't do it, but hey, you gave credit to these crimes to the wrong person.
He was their accountant or something.
Yeah.
He did all the money embezzling. And
that one was crazy because they sort of defuse the bomb and it's wild and then tied up. Yes, and then he comes back
And we find out Balky's been pen paling with him
Balky
the whole
must have
time.
lots of jail pen pal. Because wasn't he pen paling? What's his name? From the earlier season, Lucas,
Vinny or
Vince Lucas.
Yeah.
Vince Lucas. I forgot his name. He's got. I believe Balky has many prison pen pals. But yeah, so then he shows up, and then they think they're being followed by the mob. The first one was, I think, was a little stronger than the return.
But okay, so there were a lot of there were 24 episodes in this season.
Yes, a long
That's
season.
A lot.
Yeah.
That's back then. They used to do many 22-minute episodes every season. That's why we got a lot of these sort of like surface stories that were just like, what was that? What? Okay.
They got to fill 22 minutes sometimes.
But what was your favorite?
I mean, this season also notable gave us many Miposian chants. We heard and learned about the litany of truth and
the wrath of the Gaboogies,
the bingy.
Miposian furies.
But the best has got to be the hongy bongy. What was that one called?
Yes.
In the Selling of Mipos.
The Selling of Mipos. That was episode 15. It was the negotiators chant or whatever.
Hey, biggie.
Yes. Hongy bongy, hiki wiki. Oh, yeah.
Well, another one of those great moments rewatching the show where the words come back to you and you're like, how do I know this? I know it happened to you.
And it puts an instant smile on your face where you just can start singing
hongy bongy.
along.
Yeah. And I mean, a big moment. Balky has a chance to actually, sell part of Mipos. And does some in some digging.
Worldwide amalgamated
to a big corporate that's going to pollute the thing, and he doesn't do it. It's an eco message. Yes. What's another one of your favorites from this season?
Hongy bongy was the ritual of purification.
The ritual of purification.
Yeah, another one was, of course, and if you're an astute listener of our show, I bet you can guess our favorites just from how we review them and how excited we get for some of them. But episode 4, Truth or Consequences.
Truth or Consequences.
With just an excuse to let them play high on nitrous and let them be silly and goofy.
That is a lot of fun. And you can tell they're having fun and they are just making dumb jokes as they are getting dosed. That one has some great physical comedy. You know what? I will give special shout out to the house flipping episode, This Old House.
Oh, yeah.
Because we kind of just went through something like that similar with our mother's house. And
we sold a house.
Yes, which is crazy. But them just sitting, getting stuck in the chandelier is just absurd and ridiculous.
It was just ridiculous. I didn't even get the physics of that when they could have just like dropped down and landed on their feet.
It wasn't that far, but it's funnier this way. But all in all, in the beginning, like the opening had the roller skating episode. I thought that was fun with the stunt jump and a lot of falls, a lot of great physical comedy. So good stuff this season. Listener, there is a way for you to get involved. I don't know if you know that we have an awesome Facebook group. There will be a link in the episode description, Dance of Joy podcast group, where you can meet other Perfect Strangers friends, and I post threads for episodes we are about to review. So the first couple from season 6 are up there. You can watch because the show streams for free on Amazon Freevee, Perfect Strangers, all 8 seasons. Join the Facebook group, leave your comments, and then we'll use them in the show. It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun.
You can leave your favorite moment from season 5 too at the Facebook group, listener. Okay. So I think I wanted to look at what Mark Lindbaker and Bronson Pinchot have been up to lately.
Ooh.
One of them has two very exciting upcoming projects. Yeah. So we'll start with Mark Lindbaker. That's not the one. He's not. We just saw him.
Way to set us up for that.
Yeah, I'm going to tease you. Mark Lindbaker, though, because we did see him last year in She-Hulk, Attorney at Law on Disney Plus,
and he's in Ghosts,
and he was in Ghosts on CBS, and he was great in She-Hulk as Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk's father. That was a lot of fun to watch. And I think he does Ghosts here. He did 3 episodes in 21, 22. But I think he does some Broadway and stuff too. But Bronson Pinchot is currently will be seen next in Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley. Beverly Hills Cop 4, that I believe
Serge returns.
Serge returns with Eddie Murphy.
White-haired Serge.
Yes, he is playing Serge, and I think it might be going straight to Netflix. Oh my God, look at this cast. It's crazy. Eddie Murphy returning. Judge Reinhold returning, who is one of the cops, Bronson Pinchot, Paul Reiser, Kevin Bacon, Joseph Gordon-Levitt apparently are in this movie.
Whoa.
Being directed by Mark Malloy.
Any ladies in that cast?
We have Taylor Page, I think is the lead female, maybe. But this is going to be crazy. I love the Beverly Hills Cop 1 was great. 2 was okay. 3, then they get kind of bad. But
when is that coming out?
To be released on Netflix, possibly 2024. But he also landed another gig in a Shondaland Netflix series called The Residents. And he is joining the cast that also has Andre Braugher and a bunch of other people. Shonda Rhimes, of course, the creator of like many hit shows like Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder. She has a huge deal with Netflix.
Bridgerton, Inventing Anna.
Yeah, both of those are very big. So this show, The Residents, that Bronson's been cast in, the logline says this: 132 rooms, 157 suspects, 1 dead body, 1 wildly eccentric detective, 1 disastrous state dinner. The Residence is a screwball whodunit set in the upstairs, downstairs, and backstairs of the White House among the eclectic staff of the world's most famous mansion. A White House murder mystery whodunit.
It has Jason Lee and Susan Kelechi Watson, too.
Ken Marino's in there. He's
Ken
funny.
Marino.
Yeah.
I saw Ken Marino in a restaurant in Baltimore
Oh,
once.
did he? Did you say hi?
No, I didn't
Did he
say hi
acknowledge
because
you?
he was dining with someone, friends, family. But my friend and I were eating, and we recognized his face, but like couldn't remember his name. And then we just sat there on our phones for like 15 minutes until we figured it out. We're
I know that
Ken
guy.
Marino.
That's
the first thing that came to my mind was that sketch show, The State, that was only on for like 1 season.
Dude, The State is hilarious on MTV. Yes,
because there was an episode, there was a sketch that I remember about eating blue Muppet meat or whatever.
Okay, like Gonzo.
Yeah, and they would like
Grover.
lure them to the windows and then kill them, and that's where I remember it from.
They used to
back-
film The State at my art school in Brooklyn at Pratt. They filmed a lot of things there.
Nice.
Also, I think they filmed
right.
Sesame Street.
Back to
Anyways, so yeah, that's Bronson's going to be. I can't wait to see him in Beverly Hills Cop 4 as Serge is going to be amazing. But so look, we're at in the show. We are. This is the spring summer of 1990. And I just wanted to take a look back at the TV landscape, the sitcom TV landscape at 1990, because crazy things were happening. It was changing. Shows were coming out that were kind of changing the game, and a lot of big shows were debuting.
A lot of big shows
that
debuted
year.
in 1990, including Law and Order, Beverly Hills 90210, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air started in 1990.
Wow.
Wings, Northern Exposure,
I
Blossom.
love Northern Exposure. Blossom is
Of course,
great.
Maya Bialik back on TV sitcoms now.
And Jeopardy.
And Jeopardy. Mr. Bean started in 1990. In Living Color started in 1990.
Oh my God.
All these classics. Parker Lewis, Can't Lose, and Ferris Bueller both in 1990.
This is funny because Ferris Bueller comes out in the 80s. It's a hit show. And in 1990, 2 TV shows come out that are essentially the same TV show. One with the IP connected to it. A Ferris Bueller TV show and a Parker Lewis Can't Lose TV show. The show were both about the same thing. A very cool dude in high school that, cuts class
Got
and stuff.
into trouble, yeah.
What ends up happening, if you see, we used to watch both of them, and Parker Lewis Can't Lose was a better Ferris Bueller show than the Ferris Bueller show. Yes, Parker Lewis was an amazing show. Ferris Bueller, I think, only lasted 1 season.
Yeah, it was 1990 to 1990.
And Parker Lewis lasted a couple of seasons. That show was great. So those were, the major new shows. But what was on the air were other huge shows. Thursday night was owned by NBC and The Cosby Show for many years throughout the late 80s, right?
I remember that time. Thursday was such a huge conflict.
Yes.
What to watch.
Because in 1989, just in December, The Simpsons started, and they initially went up against Cosby Thursday night, same time slot. I remember going, oh my God, I can't record both of these. They're on different channels at the same time. What do I do? It was like, what do you watch? What do you record?
Picture?
Oh my God!
And
the
you could
PIP.
try to watch both of them
But
at
you
the same
can't-
time and then switch at the commercials.
Yes,
but the commercials
that's
were at the
what
same
we did.
time.
You waited for the
It
commercial.
was so stressful. Like watching TV was so high anxiety back then.
Remember when you'd watch TV and like we'd be watching TV and a commercial came and somebody had to go to the bathroom and then when
like,
it came
"It's
back,
on!"
yeah, it's back.
It's back.
While you had to race to go to the bathroom, get some snacks and a drink.
Yeah.
You couldn't just pause and rewind
No,
the
you
television,
couldn't.
people.
And when there were two shows on back to back on different networks,
This
you
was
couldn't. You had
stressful.
to like record one
And
but-
watch the other one live.
and watch the other one
Otherwise, you
live,
didn't see
and then or try to watch them at the same time, switching back and forth.
So
or,
The Simpsons does an incredible thing where Cosby rules Thursday nights slowly, though, because Cosby is nearing at the end of its run and The Simpsons has started.
Yeah, it was like the last season of Cosby
the last
where they
few,
introduced new young
And then
children.
The Simpsons kind of takes over, but that was a crazy, stressful time.
So stressful.
It's weird to think about that. And another show I think we have to mention that was just starting, was not great in 1990, but goes on to be great, is Seinfeld. So, and this is another case of like something like this couldn't happen. Seinfeld, the first season was just okay. If you put that show on Netflix now, it is canceled before they even upload the video.
I recently rewatched the whole thing. Yeah.
But back then, you trusted a guy, a sitcom like Jerry Seinfeld, to develop the show, and you invested in him, and very quickly, by the second, third year, the show becomes number one.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, and it's still a multi-camera sitcom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Later on, we see that phased out to the single camera. But what I think Seinfeld did is it's the first show, because you still had TGIF, you had Full House, you had Family Matters, you had wholesome family entertainment, and then you have this show of these four adults who are really, they're not good people to each other. They're constantly undermining each other, backstabbing each other. In fact, if you've seen the finale of Seinfeld, they are arrested, put in jail for breaking the Samaritan law, for being terrible people. And I'm like, and you see all their friends that they meet, and you're like, these people screwed all these people over. They really are jerks. But it was the first time you had because Friends was on, I think, also, or maybe that was later. But they were still, it wasn't like these four adults, the dynamics
wasn't a
of
family.
these. Yeah, it wasn't a family.
Yeah.
And then it does give rise to shows like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Workaholics. These shows where
kind of like subversive sitcoms,
horrible lead characters, just horrible people, and you love watching them. Seinfeld did it first, did it best.
Yep, and it all started in 1990.
What else happened in 1990? It was a pretty big year. I'll tell you, movie-wise, the one movie that ruled, Home Alone, came out in 1990.
Oh, yeah, game changer.
How can you forget the Home Alone, introducing the world to Macaulay? He was in Uncle Buck, but also you had Ghost and Dances with Wolves. Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore.
Yeah, all three of those very iconic films from that era, and all in 19.
Here's a bit of nostalgia to get you. The Game Boy came out. It was $89, black and white, original Game Boy, debuting in 1990.
What year did we buy ours?
Probably 1990. I think we had
paid $89.
Oh yeah.
Where did we? Okay.
And I had a bunch of games. There's a great movie on Apple TV Plus called Tetris. I don't know if you've
haven't seen it yet, but I'm told it's really good.
It is the story of how this guy brought Tetris and sold it to Nintendo and it got packaged with the Game Boy.
And it was 1990, the end of the Cold War. Yeah.
It got people hooked on Tetris because it came with the Game Boy. And it really is Tetris, if you think about it. It's a perfect game. Still to this day, it's like the perfect game. That movie's great. You should watch it.
I will watch that.
But the Game Boy, that was huge for portable gaming.
Should we talk about our Game Boy?
Yeah, what happened to our Game Boy?
So we bought, this is what I remember. You and I saved money from somewhere. I don't know from where, but we saved it up and we rode our bikes to the mall up the road and bought ourselves a Game Boy, but it was like in secret. So our parents wouldn't find out for some reason.
But it was like a shared purchase.
Yeah, we bought it together.
It was very exciting.
I remember we had a case
that.
And we had games like this like gray like toolbox thing case, and we would play it like locked in the room or like in secret. I don't know why we were keeping it a secret, but we were. And then some people came and stayed with us for the summer one year. May or may not have been cousins of ours. And when they left, the Game Boy was gone, and we never saw it again.
It was mysterious, and I had a lot of games. There was a case.
The whole box.
Yeah, I bought a case, and we bought
with
numerous
the Game Boy,
games.
and the games was gone.
And then one day it was just like, whatever happened to
and
that
I
Game
know
Boy?
at least one of our cousins has listened to this podcast before. It's not you. You'd know if it was
or
you.
is it? No, it's not you. You know who you are.
You know who you are. You're not. But we've never, and then we just didn't have a Game Boy. And we never got found out for having one because we're good secret keepers.
Well, there's no way we kept that a secret. I remember playing that all the time, like in front of them. Like, did we hide
In the
them?
beginning,
Really?
it was a secret.
And then they were like,
Maybe
where'd
in
you
the
get this
beginning.
thing? Man,
And
we
then
were
like,
bad kids.
But like,
We
why
did.
is that something wrong? We got it. We just
Yeah,
went to
we
the
s-
store.
they
We
should have
didn't
been proud of
steal it or
us.
anything. We
We
went to the
saved
store
money
and bought
and
it.
bought it together.
But where did we get that money from?
I don't know. Lemonade stand? I don't remember. But yes, big pop culture moment there, the introduction of the Game Boy in 1990.
We have some interesting listener comments in the backlog that we wanted to shout out.
Let's catch up on
today.
some from last episode.
Let's catch up because sometimes they come in after the episodes or after we record, but we still want to give them some love. So we have some comments from our listener cousin Whitney Smith. And this is kind of an appropriate one for this season break special because she says, I love just everything about Perfect Strangers. The acting, the actors, the storylines, but one thing that wasn't good about Perfect Strangers was their season closures.
Okay.
So, yeah, last week we talked about the season finale,
Uncle Shaggy and
Uncle
going to the
Shaggy.
kiddie show. That was
All right.
It just seemed like any
so
episode.
she writes, I can't think of one season where there was a good season closing, maybe except for season 3 with Bye Bye Beaky.
That was a really heartfelt season
Yeah.
closing. I did like that one.
And regarding last week's episode, cousin Whitney writes, this wasn't one of my favorite episodes, or one really I cared for, but I can relate to having one of my favorite children's show getting canceled. This reminded me of what happened to Paul Rubens, also known as Pee Wee Herman, when he got caught doing what he did and they canceled Pee Wee's Playhouse. She writes, I was in front of the television every Saturday morning with my bowl of cereal ready to watch. Oh, remember cereal?
I was there
and
too.
TV?
Whitney Smith. I was there watching Pee Wee with the
We
bowl of
were
cereal.
there, too.
Absolutely.
I didn't know what canceled meant, and when it was time for him to come on, he wouldn't.
I think I remember when it just suddenly stopped.
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Yeah, we didn't have instant information back then.
No.
We didn't have a Twitter to run to. Okay, a little bit more from Cousin Whitney. Belky was such a big kid when he got to tour Uncle Shaggy's doghouse. That's right. He became a big child. I'm pretty sure I would have been the same way because I wanted to go on Pee Wee's Playhouse so bad and play in the magic screen and jump out into Cherry.
Dude, that Pee Wee's Playhouse set was amazing.
Yeah,
I
it was
would have
so
loved to
fun.
hang out there with
They
the
should
King
do
of
like a
Cartoons.
Pee Wee's Playhouse immersion experience. You know how they have like
Yeah,
friends?
just set it up again. Lawrence Fishburne was Cowboy Curtis
Yep.
real early on the show.
Yep.
But that set was always very alluring as when I was younger.
And Whitney writes, that couch in Uncle Shaggy's reminded me of the children's show, The Big Comfy Couch.
That's the one.
That's the one you were thinking of. Larry looked so adorable in the French poodle costume. He did, in fact. Again, unfortunately, not one of the best season clothes.
Yeah, I think a bunch of the episode orders may have been mixed around back then.
And also back then, they weren't writing seasons like we write seasons of shows now, where each season is like an arc and a moving story. Like
right.
These
These are
kind of
like
sitcoms
one-offs.
were just like, so they like season.
The fact that they brought
finale
Marvin
wasn't
Berman
really like a
back,
big
though,
thing,
and they had the two-part is huge. By the way, writer's strike going on right now in 2023.
Yeah, Writers Guild of America.
So this may affect some things in the future, and it has affected late-night shows immediately as they've all
and in fact,
gone dark.
there were some strikes during the run.
There were.
We have mentioned them before.
Yeah, there was a
of
writer's
Perfect
strike
Strangers.
in the 80s, and the last one was 2007. Lasted about 100 days, so we'll see how long this one goes. It's been a week.
We'll see. And we have some comments in from cousin Nicole Stoner. She says, one, Cousin Imran, were you thinking of the big comfy couch for the other children's show?
Yes, thank you. They both got it. That's what I was thinking of.
2, I was a waitress at one point, and we used 86 if we were out of certain food. Remember we talked about the phrase 86ing something?
Yes, so
it's a code indicating it's out.
Or if you're in the mob, it means we need to get rid of this Paulie.
Yeah.
86 Paulie over here.
And 3, I'm pretty sure Richie Cunningham studied to be a journalist. That's why we were talking about the same storyline.
Yes. With Clarabelle the Clown and Howdy Doody and photographer. Okay.
I was like, why was he writing a story?
Why? Oh, that's why. Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Cousin Nicole Stoner.
All good information from our listeners. I love all our cousins. Thank you for listening. And thanks for hanging out with us so far in these 5 seasons. We are excited to get to next season.
And we'll be back with our full episode next week as we start season 6 of Perfect Strangers.
Season 6, and there's a full season 6, full season 7, and then a shortened
mini season 8.
6-episode season 8 that ends. The whole series ends in a 2-parter. Ooh, I can't wait. There is also a 2-parter coming up in season 6. So
every season had one.
Get excited for that. Next week, season 6 premiere. The boys get burgled. Need to put in an ADT system or something, whatever they had in 1990.
They need a ring.
Need a ring camera. They're going to need some wireless internet inside. Isn't it amazing? You could just do that now. Just put up cameras in your house and ring cameras, and your alarm comes to your phone. Anyways, they're going to need some kind of high-tech home security system. It should be a fun time.
I can't wait to see what all season 6 has and especially which of those moments that put a smile on your face instantly where you just recognize the chant or something out of the blue and start singing along.
And again, these seasons coming up, I have very little memory of any of these episodes. So it's going to be like watching it again for the first time.
There might be one or two that come back to us.
We'll see. But season 5 had some for sure.
Season 5 had a lot, yeah.
All right. In the meantime, listener, if you enjoy being a cousin of the show and want to be an even better cousin of the show, you can support the show by buying us a virtual coffee. Yeah, it's like a virtual tip jar. Visit our website, danceofjoypod.com. There's a buy us a coffee button there. And you can donate a couple of virtual coffees. All proceeds go back into creating the show and keeping it going.
We need some coffees to get through the next 50 episodes of...
We got 50-ish episodes to go, and and then we'll see what happens with the podcast. But we appreciate everybody's support.
In the meantime, stay with us. Hang out with us on our website, danceofjoypod.com. There you can find out all the links. There you can find all the links for where you can listen to this podcast, where you can leave us a rating, a review, subscribe. Also on our website is a little button where you can leave us a voice message. Come chat with us. Who writes written messages anymore? Voice messages are the thing to do. Leave us a voice message. Tell us what your favorite episode from season 5 of Perfect Strangers was, and what you're excited about for season 6. If you are, however, a traditional type of person who does enjoy writing written messages, you can send us an email at danceofjoypod@gmail.com. Or you can write us on any one of our social media accounts. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But Imran, what is the most important thing our listeners should do?
Well, when your shady relatives visit, just keep an eye on your Game Boy.
Just hide your Game Boy.
That's what I would say.
Show off your Game Boy.
Just put it away. It's fine. Does that what happened? I don't know. It must have.
We're gonna find that Game Boy.
Maybe we'll still find that Game Boy. No. What you can do, the most important thing is to share the show, listener. Share it to your socials. Text it to a friend. We would appreciate it.
Word of mouth goes a long, long way. It's the best way to show us love.
Thank you for listening to The Dance of Joy.
And now we are so happy.
Now we are so happy. We do the dance of joy.
Hey, 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 hey.